And now it's time for Fabulous Film and Friends. Welcome to our 122nd episode of the Triple F, you magnificent maniacs and fiendish friends of folly. In this wild and wonderful world of cinematic curiosities, we're cranking up the crazy as we pay tribute to the madcap, manic musical mayhem of one accordion-attacking, parody-packing, pop culture-slapping sultan of silly, Weird Al Yankovic. As we dive headfirst into Weird Al's two triumphant tales of tuneful tumultuousness, 1989's UHF, directed by Jay Levey and starring Weird Al himself, along with David Bowe, Michael Richards, Anthony Geary, Victoria Jackson, Fran Drescher, the Billy Barty, Alex's favorite, and Kevin McCarthy. Then on to 2022's Weird Al Yankovic story, directed by Appel and starring Daniel Radcliffe, Evan Rachel Wood, Rainn Wilson, Julianne Nicholson, Toby Huss, Spencer Treat Clark, Arturo Castro, Jack Black, and a cavalcade of Blink and You'll Miss Some cameos. Returning to their command posts after an extended shore leave are my indispensable id and superego, little sis and big league slugger Roseanne Caputi, and that master of vicious visual, vocal, vocabulary, and virtuoso ventriloquism, Gordon Alex Robertson. All right, Alex, here's your chance to best me at my game. Nope. Give me your Wolfman Jack as you introduce Hotel California.
All right, baby. Coming up, we've got a wonderful tune from the Wonderful Eagles. That's it. No more. Part of my voice.
Before we light the torches, grab the machetes and go tooling through the tombs of tomfoolery, the synopses. UHF tells the story of George Newman, a hapless dreamer who can't keep a job until he inherits a rundown used cable TV station. When his wildly weird ideas for the local access channel start catching fire with the audience, rival station owner R.J. Fletcher will stop at nothing to shut them down and destroy George's dreams forever. Weird, the Al Yankovic story, is a musical biopic loosely based on the life of song parodist Al Yankovic, chronicling his rise, his fall, and his fantastically funny love affair with Madonna. So, you wonderful weirdos, are these two wildly wacky wonders actually works of warped genius or just plain warped? Find out. All right, Roseanne Caputi, you're first. Why are we talking about these films? Are these works of genius?
I don't think they're works of genius. I really like both of them, but I don't think it's genius. I've been thinking about this a lot, about parody versus satire and even Weird Al versus Pee-wee and things like that. And I think they're both really funny movies. I don't think they're genius.
Alex, what do you say to this?
There could be some genius in spite of itself.
Yeah.
It's certainly, it really is uniquely Al Yankovic. There's no doubt about it. I mean, UHF is Al Yankovic all over the map, and Weird is Al Yankovic in a little bit more of a controlled manner, but you can hear his voice throughout. So there's something there. I think I'm going to have to agree with Roseanne. I don't know if I would say genius, but there is something there. There's something unique. It is unique. But putting it on a level with PB, I think that's different. I think Paul Rubin just had that extra something that, if that makes sense.
I think that extra something is depth. I think that, I think that extra something is, and again, I think I'm there for all of Weird Al's gags, roadmaps, whatever. I'm in.
Yeah.
But, I just...
Yeah, I think he's just a big goof. He's just, he's a big goofy kid, and he owns it.
Yeah,
I think that's where the genius is. It's just in his unabashed,
right, and it's
behavior.
Like unadulteratedly joyful, but there's not much of an edge, and it's a good time.
Yeah, he's the guy you could bring home. Mom, Dad, this is Al.
Right.
All right, let's give a little. Let me break in. I agree with you. Let me just give my 2 cents. I agree. it's not. There's something missing in both films. I really liked Weird. I was never a huge fan of UHF. I appreciate it now on this. Actually, my second viewing, because when I first saw it in '89, I just thought it was, I thought it was okay, but not that funny. I mean, I thought parts of it were funny, but I didn't love it. I like it a lot more now for some reason. I don't know. My appreciation for the absurd. Anyway, no, Roseanne, you just don't want to hear me do Dr. Demento?
I do, but I don't know what to do with my face when you do it.
Let's take it back. Alex,
Yes.
Roseanne,
What?
let's give our viewers a little context. When did you first become aware consciously of Al Yankovic? Alex Robertson, you're the oldest of us. But were you aware of Another One Rides the Bus and the ice cream, the Rocky, I Love Rocky Road? Were you aware of these?
I was
hits?
aware of that, but I was not aware of the artist. I don't think it was until 1983 that there was a name, and it was Mickey. Or Ricky. Oh, Ricky, you're so fine. That was like the first big breakthrough. That's when everybody could put a name to. But yeah, I remember prior to that, the song parodies, I just didn't know who it was.
Yeah,
So
I heard
83
Another One Rides the Bus quite a few times before
Yeah.
I realized who it was. I wasn't. I
Yeah.
personally wasn't aware of it till Eat It. That's when.
Yeah.
That's when he became a name for sure.
Well, for me, it was Ricky. It was 83, courtesy MTV. He was made for the MTV generation. He really was.
Yeah. And I have to say, I was working on a farm in the summer of '85 when that song "Eat It" came. I didn't think it was particularly great. I don't know. It wasn't my style of humor. I thought it was okay, but I wasn't like, oh, you got to hear this. I was just like, I was surprised.
No, you don't get the full
had
effect.
the legs it did.
You have to watch the video because I still, I lose it every time he is doing his best to be Michael Jackson. And he moves like a dorky white boy, like he said in that clip. Here I am trying to be Michael Jackson, a big, awkward, dorky white boy. And for some reason, he sells it because he is a big, dorky
he's
white
committed,
boy.
for
He
sure.
is committed.
Yeah.
No, but I think the video is what sells the song. I mean, I could listen to the song, but I got to see the video. That, to me, is the full effect. Al Yankovic is visual.
Kid Sis, what do you think? You were 5 years old when that song became big. Were you aware in school?
Vaguely. I didn't become super aware of him until our brother Claude gave me the Dare to Be Stupid tape.
Oh.
And my favorite song on there was Yoda. Which
I don't even know what Yoda.
Yoda
How does that
is
one
a-
go?
Lola.
Yoda is a
Oh.
parody of Lola.
Oh,
The
okay.
King.
So I
Yeah.
met him down in Dagobah, Anyway, and I remember thinking that was funny. And then I think Claude also showed me UHF. So probably 1988 because what UHF.
No, it came out in '89.
I know, but I'm just
89, yeah.
Dare to Be Stupid. I had, and then I saw UHF. If we're just taking it back then, but again,
And I recall watching it with you.
you did.
So what do you remember of that VHS viewing of UHF?
So you have to remember too, after you didn't like it, I watched it like 75 more times. I thought it was
To see what my problem was?
what's with this guy? And as you would imagine, our Spike Jones loving dad thought it was funny.
Sure. He was
yeah.
always, hey, God rest his soul, he was always quoting Spatula City.
Sure.
Always.
I know. You got it. We saw
And
Spatula
now
City.
my heart warms, He's been
Well,
gone
there you
almost
go.
a year, and my heart warms at Spatula City. I was
Well,
like, that is a funny gag.
First of all, Specialist City's a great gag.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I watched it a lot. And the big thing too, so if we're talking genius, going back to that, Michael Richards. I love
Yeah.
Michael Richards.
Well, again, I took him for, now, again, with some historical context of this is early Michael Richards doing his thing.
Yeah.
Him I just,
Boxes.
I wasn't used to, I fully admit, I've grown to love physical comedy. I didn't. I used to find it tedious. Till SOSC, and I realized I sucked at it, Alex. I didn't appreciate it. once I realized I can't do it is when I realized it is an art form.
Yeah.
And Michael Richards' physical comedy with that mop is hilarious. Back then I didn't like Three Stooges. I didn't appreciate the art form. So now it's like, that's a funny scene of going, my mop, my mop,
my mop.
Like,
You have much to learn, young one. You have much to learn.
It's good stuff.
I will tell you of this.
And I gotta say, like, once you realize just how hard it is to do physical comedy, Michael Richards being dragged across the floor is a funny gag. Like, that's a good gag. It's my favorite part of the movie.
Pulling on the boxes. Michael Richards doing damn near anything, driving that stupid train. And
yes.
Hose in the kid's face.
But see, Michael Richards was one of those guys like Weird Al Yankovic when he came on the scene. Now, for me, it was Fridays, the SNL ripoff, ABC. I mean, the one thing about Fridays that I remember, apart from that's where Larry David got his start, and Michael Richards stood out. Yeah. And he always did the soldier boy, which was really more like pantomime. That's where he was the kid that was in the backyard playing with the soldiers. And for a lot of us, we kind of got into it. But, you know, he had that sadistic streak, which is very obvious. But, you know, there was something there. It was like, God, who is this guy? I mean, he is so outrageous to be believed, but you can't take your eyes off of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
well, he definitely is. He's the secret weapon in that movie. And I wonder if Weird Al knew that or not. Because Weird Al does seem like Pee-wee. He seems like the other side of the fence Pee-wee. You know what I mean? Like, he's not as smart, or he's not as Roseanne says, deep. But he has this deep, but he definitely has this crew of goofballs. Yeah. You know, and weirdos on his side.
Well, and again, he loves this idea. I love this about both Pee-wee and Weird Al, that they're outsiders without being misanthropes.
Right.
And I think that's such an amazing line to ride, because I think misanthrope is easy comedy and stupid and, you know, makes room for sarcasm. And both of them make more room for absurdity.
Right.
But I think Pee-wee feels the distance between the outsiders and the establishment more.
Yeah. And he exploits it better.
Definitely.
Weird Al's definitely the dork who doesn't realize he's a dork.
Yes, that's
and
it.
that's part of the humor. That's
well, I know,
but
Pee-wee knows where he fits.
Know me.
Don't you think Pee-wee knows where he fits, and Weird Al is sort of oblivious?
No, I think
Weird Al thinks he just sort of fits wherever, and Pee-wee's very.
Again, I can't speak for Weird Al. I don't want to presume to know that, but his humor.
When you watch his comedy, I'm not talking about the man himself.
Sure.
When you watch his comedy, it's so genial, you know, and Pee-wee's. There's obviously he loves the things he loves, but he also wants to be like, hey, you're not as normal as you think you are, and let the freaks in. Don't you know we love you?
Right.
And Weird Al doesn't seem concerned with any of that.
I agree.
Well, it's like he wants to be everyone's friend.
Yeah.
You know, like he does. I mean, it sounds crazy, but, you know, Pee-wee can be in on the joke when he needs to be. But Weird Al seems like the kind of guy that just wants to be everybody's friend. If that makes sense.
I guess I wouldn't even go that far. He just seems more like a nerd, like a true nerd who doesn't he knows, he's vaguely aware that he's a nerd, but he doesn't seem to truly understand how the world sees him. That's how it just feels to me. You know?
Maybe that's part of it. I don't think
Weird Al challenges the viewer that much. The parodies are mostly sort of like a comedic exercise. It's not satire. Pee-wee challenges both the people in his stuff and us because of who Pee-wee is. This like childish, effeminate weirdo who just happens to love the same things that everyone else loves. So with that challenge, the humor is far deeper and darker and funnier. There's nothing dark about Weird Al. There's absurd.
But at the same time, there are definite connections. I mean,
again, Jason Paragon, for example.
John Paragon, exactly. Yeah, John Paragon. Yeah, John Paragon. You're close.
Who's John? I'm sorry. Who's John Paragon?
He was Kevin.
Mecca Heiny Ho.
Yes, he was. Yes.
Thank you. He plays
Jambi. Jambi.
Yeah, he plays Jambi, but he's what's his name's son in
Kevin
UHF.
McCarthy's son, the one that gives him the one.
Yeah, he's Kevin
Oh.
McCarthy's
I
son.
wanted a Rolex.
Right. And of course,
Kevin McCarthy. And again, now that you know that
Yeah.
Kevin McCarthy's just sort of this weird Hollywood queen, now it's like, oh, I guess I needed context for Kevin McCarthy back in the '80s, because now it's just funny, like, oh, yeah, he's one of the gang, and now he's just playing it. He's almost playing it like a drag queen, and he's like with those teeth and those eyebrows. He's funny. Like, I never thought of Kevin McCarthy, but he's pretty funny in that, just overacting like Cloris
he's like
Leachman
Liz.
style.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
he's
like
definitely-
Dunawaying it up.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like, I didn't know. Again, I was a simple boy. I knew David Letterman. I knew Moonlighting. I knew SCTV. I knew, I had my style of humor, and I just didn't get Weird Al then. I just didn't think he was. I don't know what it was. I didn't get Michael Richards. I didn't get the comic stylings of one Anthony Geary, Dave's cousin. Who is
great.
now looking at him.
But he's one of the big surprises
pretty
in that
funny.
movie is how
Yeah.
understated he is
Yeah.
and funny.
Yeah.
All he has to do is just one look at the camera and he's hilarious.
Yeah.
He never overdoes it. And he's
That poor
funny.
guy, he had to go back to, after his little stint in comedy and trying to make it, he had to go back to General Hospital
General
with the
Hospital.
same bad
That's how
hairdo,
most-
even though he was 75 at that point.
Yeah.
You
See,
know, it's
that's
just
how
sad.
That's not
everybody
true.
knows him.
That's totally true.
erroneous.
What?
No, I watched him on General Hospital. They gave him shorter hair.
Oh, I know, but at first he had the hairdo.
The
I challenge
the
you,
bro
Roseanne.
fro, the fro.
Early when he
in the
returned
80s.
when he
Different-
returned to the
I
show,
don't
he had
know. I
the
never
same
saw when he
he had the same
No, when I
wacky
was
perm.
watching in the 90s, he had short hair.
Right. But at first, when he first showed up,
Boy,
he had the
this is
wacky
where the
perm, and
two
they
of you are
realized that
losing
wasn't going to work.
me.
Anyway,
I got to
he-
trust you on this one.
watching
Sure.
it
Oh, I just saw
now,
clips. I just
he
saw
was an
clips.
absolute delight.
Well,
Yeah.
look, he was a phenomenon in 81, 82. The
Sure.
whole, what is it, Luke,
Luke, Liz, and Laura.
whatever.
When
yeah.
Liz Taylor showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was like, I mean, that was as big as, Who Shot JR.
Yeah,
that was,
yeah.
That was one of those water cooler moments, I guess.
Right.
Anyway, he's very funny and
He is.
great.
Well, there were so
Again,
many
and
wonderful
that-
surprises in that movie.
Oddly, not Victoria Jackson, which bums me out. The reason I say
given a
that
lot
only
to
just to
play.
segue into Weird.
But
is
she's
because
this is pre Saturday
Evan
Night
Rachel
Live.
Wood is so funny.
Yeah.
I know,
but
I get
but
it.
remember, Victoria Jackson was just sort of cast as the ingenue, and she was, I don't think the world knew she was that funny. So I think he's just like, get my friend Victoria to play the romantic lead,
I guess.
because she
but-
was cute, right? But
Yeah.
we didn't know she was funny till like.
okay.
Well, no, wait,
just
she
think-
was. Wait, she was on Saturday Night Live then, wasn't she?
89, she was on
Yeah,
Saturday Night
she
Live.
was,
She's on
right,
with Phil Hartman
right.
and Jan Hooks. and
Right,
everybody.
right, right. That's right.
Okay.
So that's
I don't know-
actually
yeah, I don't know
hogging
what-
from her because
I don't
she's
know-
really funny.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't use her to any effect.
Yeah.
Because if anybody could play the oblivious girlfriend, it would be her.
Would have been.
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
The one-
she is
the
a
one
wasted
weak link.
Victoria Jackson.
yeah.
But one name you forgot to mention was Trinidad Silva.
Oh, right.
As
well,
Raoul.
he's
I
kind of
mean,
like
rest in
he's a bit player like
He
everybody.
is a bit player, but he's funny because my memory of Trinidad Silva is always playing the gangbanger. Okay, starting on Hill Street Blues, he had a recurring role as this gangbanger, and then he's in Colors with Sean Penn and Robert Duvall. He plays Frog, who's sort of Robert Duvall's informant on the street. Well, and he's again, is that my little brother up there in the tree? What are you, a little monkey? But the sad thing is he dies during the making of this movie. I mean, he never got a chance to see it.
Oh, how did he die?
He was hit by a drunk
Drunk
driver
driver.
coming home from church, I think, with his
Or-
family.
Church? Are you serious?
I'm not.
Yes.
I wouldn't joke about that. Come on.
Wow, that's
no,
terrible.
It's a terrible story.
Making Weird Al?
No,
Yeah.
he was just coming
Making
home.
UHF?
Yeah,
Making
I think
UHF,
he,
they couldn't.
I didn't
right.
read that.
They
Okay.
had to change the telethon scene.
I
and
think they
change it
did.
up.
Yeah, because they
Yeah,
wanted to develop
just
his
read that.
character. Hey, come
Yeah.
on. Flying poodles. I lost it. I'm sorry.
Well, that's Alex Robertson humor all the way. Just
The
kill
Battle
the
of
animal.
Poodles is awesome.
Oh no. Oh no, but it was a surprise performance and just sad to know that he never got to see the finished product.
Okay. So shifting
and I will
gears.
say,
okay.
Yeah, Weird. So Weird
I'm shifting gears to
shows,
Weird. So Weird, I think, is much funnier. Even still. Like, I appreciate UHF, but it's still spaghetti on the wall. It's still just, he's naked gunning it. He's just throwing whatever out there and seeing what sticks. Weird, definitely, I would say, it benefits from Eric Appel, who, was a writer on Silicon Valley and the writer-director on Silicon Valley, and I think knows comedy better than Weird Al does. That's my assumption. What?
The film benefits from not having Weird Al in it nearly as much.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and Weird Al, even I saw him on an Adam Sandler movie recently, the one about the agent on Netflix, like the Hollywood agent.
Oh, Sandy.
And Weird Al to this day can't act to save his life. He probably knows it. He doesn't care, but he just shows up on screen and he's just mugging away. It's just not his thing. So it is better to not have him in the movie. And we got to talk about the genius of getting Daniel Radcliffe. Okay, backing up. Did both of you watch the Funny or Die clip? Alex, I know you did because you sent it to me. Roseanne, did you watch the Funny or Die clip with
Aaron Paul?
Aaron Paul. Yeah. How lazy can you be? It's 5 minutes, if that.
And it's got Gary Cole as the dad.
And Gary Cole and Mary Steenburgen as the parents. Why wouldn't you watch that?
I do love Gary Cole.
Come on, it's
because I forgot about it.
Oh my goodness, you're just too above it all, aren't you? Okay, it was a funny idea that in theory, when I was like putting myself, had I seen that clip in 2008 or 9 or whenever it was made, I would have thought there's no way you can make a movie about it, and yet they did, because it's a funny clip, it's a funny trailer to a movie, and it's Daniel Radcliffe all the way, like whoever's idea it was to just play it completely straight. So Aaron Paul plays it like a tortured artist, which is fine.
Sure.
But Daniel Radcliffe just plays it wide-eyed like him playing it. He plays it like Harry Potter with a terrible wig and mustache. And it's
all the more better.
I know, that's my point.
No.
There is a work of genius with that wacky wig and that mustache and those glasses, him playing it completely earnest and straight. Whoever's idea that was great.
Well, and credit to Eric Appel and Al Yankovic for doing, as the Brits would say, taking the piss out of rock biopics.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I love about this. It's like every bad cliche you can think of.
Yeah.
Well, and again, that's why ultimately it's better, because it's satire. And so it's a little bit more to like sink your teeth into, because again, even when coming on to this podcast, I'm like, I don't really know what to say about Weird Al. He seems to be what he is.
That's probably all you can do. It's like, look, I can't explain it. You just got to see it.
But this movie does feel like UHF, but better. Like,
it's more focused for certain. It's like
more focused.
20 years makes a difference.
I really think he made a bad call by having it released on Roku. Yeah. Like, he was so terrified of it flopping.
Well, maybe
like UHF did, that he ignored the theaters and just went to streaming. And I think that was a bad move, because Roku had it for all this time, and now it finally got released on whatever, Howdy or whatever it's called. Yeah. And it was like, I was wanting to see it. who the hell's watching Roku? The Roku channel, So I think it should have been in the theaters. He should have taken the gamble, because I think it would have been a medium, apparently they made it for 8 or a really small amount of money. And it would have definitely made its money back, I think, in the theaters.
Well, I think people were ready for it now. I don't know if people either cared enough when it came to UHF, or I don't see how they couldn't get it, but I just don't think people cared enough. I think if they had just released it, people would have gone, especially I think Daniel Radcliffe, on the strength of Daniel Radcliffe and Evan Rachel Wood's performances, I do think people would have gone to see it.
Yeah. Well, I saw the trailer and I wanted to see it until it was, I got to subscribe to Roku. So I'm like, okay, never mind. I mean, the preview was hilarious.
Well, so I think
I just think the movie should have had a bigger rollout. And, and now that I'm doing a podcast about it and looked it up, holy cow, have I been inundated with clips on YouTube about this movie. So obviously I'm not alone, or we're not alone in liking it. There's obviously some fans out there with tons of footage on it and tons of analysis on it. I bought the movie. I wanted the movie. I want to re-experience the movie for the rest of my life, however many days I have in this world. I love Pee-wee, and I now love Weird, the Al Yankovic story. Obviously, Pee-wee has a depth and a sense of Americana that makes it transcendent. Weird Al, maybe you're right. It's just limited to his experience. Like, Pee-wee's the same thing. He's the Hollywood kid, right? Mm-hmm. So they're so close. They're so close in their sort of trajectories. It's one just veered into greatness. Well,
let me ask you this: if you're going to, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No.
Well, because you brought up the term "L.A. kid," which Pee-wee, even though he's from Florida, but somehow
his dad was a stunt pilot though for Hollywood, so he obviously he was exposed.
So he
to
was
the
exposed.
Yeah.
But I mean, he went. He went to Cal Arts.
Up in Sarasota.
But he really absorbed the L.A. thing, and Al Yankovic is L.A. all the way, or that area. So compared to somebody like a Steve Martin, who's L.A., maybe a slightly different generation. I don't know, but when
Steve Martin's definitely an older brand.
Yeah, and older, but also
I mean, LA. If we bring in LA Story is the sort of middle-aged man's view of the absurdity of LA.
I suppose, yeah.
Pee-wee and I'd say even Al Yankovic are just more younger and more vital in a sense.
Well, maybe that's what I'm going for.
Yeah.
It's like, because I think with Steve Martin, there is too much of that self-awareness.
Well,
it's
funny. Look, I used to love LA Story until I realized what a complete navel-gazing ham Steve Martin is.
Well, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. It was like there's, it's like to me, it's like the worst of Mike Myers. I hate to bring that up, but it's like when he becomes aware that I'm the funniest guy in the room.
But isn't it more of the 70s sort of cravat wearing? I mean, Steve Martin is a product of that horn rim or the thick rimmed glasses, cravat wearing, selfish Hollywood mogul, or he just seems like the Alan Alda generation, just constantly paying attention to their own selfishness.
Well, that's what I mean.
And he mocks it, but he's still squarely part of it, don't you think?
Okay. Having said that, though, when we're talking about different LA comedians, you could go on and on and on and on. But if you really just had to listen to an entire, let's say, 3 different Weird Al Yankovic albums, one after the other, do you really find that you would think he was still a genius, or that you would consider him a genius? These parody songs are not genius.
No, they're not.
They're not. They're clever at best.
Not even clever.
Right. That's what I'm saying. At best.
But so that's not. But wait a minute. But hold on. Is Pee-wee playing with Godzilla clever? No. But even Pee-wee can get old. In like, again, with Big Holiday, he gets old fast because he's
I'm not saying that every single. When you're talking about genius, you're not saying every single thing they do is genius. When you're looking at 2 different basketball players, they can both be good, but one can transcend and the other cannot.
Sure. Yeah.
And so that's Pee-wee.
What I'm saying is Big Al's commitment to his accordion and his bullshit is kind of his Big Al. I'm thinking of the porn shop. I don't know why.
Jeez, oh boy. Sorry we had to go there, kids. I wonder what he was thinking.
There's a blast from the past who should be here. Speaking of LA, Weird Al, it's kind of that's what I would say his almost transcendence is his commitment to how banal it all is. His unabashed love and commitment to something that, in a sense, he is almost deconstructing what's funny, because it isn't really that funny, and yet he's fully committed to it.
Right. I think his commitment.
Remember, he is saying. Remember that even in the film, they're going "Jingle Bells, Batman smells." I mean, they're singing. It's sort of a nod to that's what he does.
Right.
And he's just his sort of German expressionism is to just hit it as hard as he can.
As hard as you can. So if you are looking at the way he lives his comedy, maybe that is in fact genius, because in a sense, then that's his alter ego that he's committing to. The comedy itself is not genius.
You see that? I'm beating you down, just like I did with Train Dreams. I am winning this fight. I took some shots in the gut, but I'm coming back. He is a genius. I knew it. Weird Al's a genius.
Yes.
Okay.
Only his level of commitment, his jokes,
that
and what
doesn't matter, right?
What you benefit from.
Roseanne,
it doesn't.
You
matter.
saw Art School Confidential. You just need to be a great artist. Right?
Again, then we would have to really talk about what a genius is, because if Paul Reubens does that, he commits himself like as his alter ego fully to all of it, and still his shit is profoundly funny and talks about the human experience of what
but we decided after A Nutty Professor that Jerry Lewis is a genius, and he's freaking tiresome, but he committed to it.
He is a genius, but again, because it goes further. Weird Al
Not
Yankovic,
a lot. Hardly Working doesn't go further.
Wait, okay, but Nutty Professor does.
Right.
Nutty Professor is a work of genius. I want you.
So is
are
Weird.
You telling me
so is Weird.
Okay.
Is a work of genius.
Yeah. Weird's a work of genius. Yes.
I don't.
Come on. If I compare Nutty Professor to Weird, I'm going with Weird.
What?
Yes.
Again, there's
for laughs.
There's
solid laughs.
There's way less at stake.
I don't know.
Jerry
to me, what's at stake? What's at stake is comedy, and
what's at stake is identity.
And there's definitely identity in this film.
Yeah, but Weird Al doesn't care. Jerry Lewis and Paul Reubens, and maybe this is because Jewish and Paul Reubens being gay, and identity means more. There's more skin in the game. And where there's more risk, there's more reward.
Alex, help me out here. Does he not commit
to him win, Alex?
Wait, what, Dave?
Pin her down while I punch her in the chest. You know comedy. I know you know. You love comedy. Is he not committed to this persona?
He is committed to the persona.
Committed to the persona is not what I'm saying. I
understand that.
I'm
trying to articulate what I'm saying here, because something that you said that we've been talking about that's kind of triggered me. If we just go, what Weird Al does with the music, it's nothing new, and we get that. But he was the guy that had maybe just enough genius to say, I could make something out of this. Or, how many of us did sing parodies when we were young? And again, they're singing Jingle Bells, Batman Smells.
Right.
It's like something, it's that idea that's just always there. And then somebody gets the idea like, well, wait a minute, we could turn this into something. I think of Joel Hodgson or whatever in the MST 3000 crowd. It's like, well, let's make a movie about people watching bad movies, and you turn something, but Weird Al, it's like the songs themselves aren't the product of the genius. Maybe it's just the commitment, the execution.
Look,
I don't know. I think he's going to be somebody we talk about.
Cornflakes genius, because
they revolutionized cereal forever.
It was a game changer,
you walk around thinking, wow, cornflakes, genius. Am I right?
I do.
Before it
was a shitty idea that
changed.
He made us believe breakfast is the most important meal of the day. That's genious, whether it's a fraud or not.
What are we talking about right now? We're talking about Pee Wee. We're talking about Weird Al. About the cornflakes. I'm sorry.
R.W. Kellogg or Knutson or whatever the hell's his name.
Kellogg. Yes, I don't. Yeah. I can't remember.
Yeah. Anyway,
wasn't he putting saltpeter in that stuff? No, that was.
I think Weird Al. You're right that it's. Is he? I think he comes close.
But the fact that we're talking about it, can we safely say that people will be talking about him in the,
In the future, Roseanne doesn't believe so.
debating
think
whether
so.
he is or not, or just saying, but he's starting conversation.
I think you can enjoy something without it being genius. I think something can be well done and enjoyable and have purpose without it being genius. I think we just live in a world where that seems impossible.
I mean, to me, if it's funny, it's funny, and if it's enduringly funny, it's enduringly funny. And why it is, I don't know. But the heart knows what the heart wants, or the human mind knows. I mean, we know. We don't have
metaphor,
to
Alex.
I'm just saying we don't. It's funny. Now that's
I
funny.
thought I'm the only one who mixed metaphors.
I'm sorry, but I could 20 years from now, I'm going to look back on UHF
Read
all
a
my
book.
grandchildren. That's how you do a flying poodle out the window gag. You get it?
True enough.
Well, I didn't appreciate Weird Al until I saw Weird, the Al Yankovic story.
But see, had I not seen it, I don't think I would have appreciated UHF. But
watching it made me like UHF again, and I liked UHF.
Well, now again,
I watched it twice.
He stands for a body of work and a whether it does come close to Jerry Lewis and Pee Wee.
There is a consistency
in the sense that he did create this persona. He did create this whole movement of simply being asinine. In a sense of just being childishly, gleefully in love, clean cut, without resorting to any sort of cheap tricks, just gleefully committing to this silly idea of making up dumb lyrics to songs.
Well, it's a guy that grew up at the banal and loves the banal, and he gets me to love the banal. I mean, suddenly...
I don't need anyone to get me to love the banal. I love the banal all on my own.
So there you go, see?
But which is why I feel especially qualified to say what's banal and what's not.
But which came first? That's what I want to know.
I just think, why can't we just relax and think something is funny and well done and enjoyable?
Well, and the bottom line is, it's funny. They're both funny movies.
They're both funny.
I think if it endures, if he can endure, if Pee Wee can endure playing with Godzilla and crazy, wacky, whammo toys, Big Al can endure for just...
It is Weird Al.
What is it?
I don't know. I don't know why I keep saying Big Al. I had a cat named Big Al.
I think it's the shirt. I think you got to get rid of the shirt, boy.
The shirt should make me channel Weird Al.
No. You're channeling something
Weird
else,
Al. Sorry, Weird Al. Weird Al is probably going to endure.
Again.
Well, this movie helps.
He clearly has endured. And
that's kind of a genius.
He's joyful. I do appreciate his joyfulness. I think his joy, like his love of things, is marvelous. I don't see why we have to call him a genius. I don't see why it qualifies as such.
Well, he's certainly a fanboy.
Again, here's the thing. When you talk about Pee Wee playing with Godzilla and toys and giant underpants and things like this, I'm like, yeah, that's silliness. But what is it actually talking about? It's talking about the loneliness of childhood and and why we even sort of have imaginations in the first place.
Okay, but I get it. But at the same time, I'm thinking Weird Al's sense of humor comes from that same sort of place.
It 100% does, but he doesn't have the interest, desire, courage to talk about that level of vulnerability from whence it comes. And Pee Wee does.
Well, I don't know. He's making fun of being an outcast.
But do you
he's making fun of it in a way that was pretty damn funny.
Yeah, but again, it's funny.
I think it's coming. Okay, maybe it's Rolling Stones versus the Beatles. I don't know, but it just seems as if it's coming. It's still pretty. It's still pretty hard hitting. Like, yeah, he is coming from a place of he's a dork. He wasn't accepted, and he makes jokes about it. And I related to that.
Sure. But again, that goes back to you saying, though, in the beginning, that it feels like he doesn't really know that people don't accept him. And I still think that's true. But now you're changing that premise by saying he embraces that. And I don't think he does.
Looking, well,
he brings it up. It's not the same thing as coming from that place.
I think maybe I'm amending my statement saying he's not as honest as Pee-wee is about it.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, though. I don't know.
Honesty begets genius.
Does
it? But are you saying
they say
now,
Hitler was a genius?
Right, there you go.
Alex, we're saying?
Oh, no. But would it be fair to say that you think that Al Yankovic is disingenuous, if you're going to compare it to Pee-wee? Because from what you're saying, Roseanne, is that Paul Rubenfeld had that sense of self-awareness, knew he was an outsider, knew there was something different. And he was able to parlay that into something, that once it all coalesces and he's had a chance to work it out and come up with this persona, he turns it into this stroke, as you would say, a stroke of genius that we can all laugh at. But at the same time, maybe in the back of our minds, like, I relate to that in some way. Where Al Yankovic is just commenting on his experiences. Maybe he was a guy that was never really that self-aware, and there's no shame in that, but it was just like you say, Gino, he's a dork.
I don't think he's disingenuous at all. I just don't think engaging
but really, like,
that part.
There really is a naivete in what he does. Now, Pee-wee can play the naivete, but he kind of knows it, or he knew it, in some ways he knew it, and he knew how to present it in such an artful way. Whereas Al Yankovic is just a naive, goofy kid who loves cornflakes, loves pop culture.
I know someone like that.
Does he wear a dorky shirt?
I don't love cornflakes. For the record, I've never loved cornflakes.
I don't know who eats cornflakes anymore. I really don't.
They were always the least part of. I always mix them with Cheerios because I wanted to mix it up a bit.
Oh, I buried mine in sugar. Somewhere there's a cornflake in there under the sugar. There it is.
I just think I don't see that he represents multiple truths at once. I just think his shit is funny.
Okay.
Well, I mean, he's straight suburbia. I mean, he really does. Yeah. No, and again, I love suburbia. No, like you. I love the banal. Why not?
Why not? Yeah.
Why not? But I think that's also, to me, though, there is a stroke of genius in the way this movie is executed, because he takes all those stupid rock biopic tropes.
Well, we were going to talk about Walk Hard, and just as a matter of course, we will say this is much better than Walk Hard.
Yes, it is. And I can laugh at Walk Hard, but I think, well, I understand Roseanne is not a fan, and I can see why. I think there is. Well, sometimes there is a bit of that self-awareness.
There's a self-congratulatory. It's funny, like an Adam Sandler movie. It's too self-congratulatory.
Yeah. But
I mean, talk about jokes going 9s and 10s. I feel like that happens a lot in Walk
Hard. It does. Yeah. It does. I mean, it's still worth seeing, but I gotta say, Weird is like streamlined. Like, okay, this is, it's effortless, it's effervescent, if that's going to make sense. I mean,
Weird is a great film.
It's a joyful ride.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, this is the ride that I go to at Disneyland that I say, let's go back and do it again. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
This is the one, like,
I've seen it 3 times. I've seen it 3 times already, and I think it's hilarious.
I saw it twice.
Well worth the $7.99 purchase price or whatever I paid.
Absolutely. No.
I thought, this is a good one. This is worth having. So
I'm trying to convince my kid. I'm telling him, you got to get on the Weird wagon, kid. Come on. It's the future, man.
Me too.
Me too. Watch the damn movie, punk.
All right. So favorite performer in UHF.
Come on.
Michael Richards.
Michael Richards.
Yep.
Favorite performer in Weird.
Well, God, wow, that's a toughie. I mean, Daniel Radcliffe, but I got to give additional props to Toby Huss.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Evan Rachel Green.
I'm going Evan Rachel Wood.
Okay.
Or what? Green.
And I wouldn't argue.
Rachel Green from Friends.
From Friends.
I thought she was in Big Al.
She frequents Big Al's a lot.
Oh,
Evan Rachel Wood. Yes, I'd say Evan Rachel Wood was a huge surprise. I immediately said you got to check her out as Madonna. Like I was shocked that somebody would do such a good job as Madonna.
Yeah.
I think maybe she should have done the gap. Maybe she did that out of respect to Madonna. Like I don't want to make fun of teeth gag, but she should have just colored her teeth a little bit and then created the gap too.
I don't think it mattered because
It didn't matter, but it would have been a funny.
character.
It would have been a little bit slightly funnier touch to see the gap, especially the 1985 Madonna with that gap. You know.
And can we just give a little nod to Arturo Castro?
Sure.
Sure.
I mean, a guy please,
to everybody.
More Arturo.
Again,
Yes,
Jack, Jack Black making
Even
me laugh.
Spencer Treat Clark.
Spencer Treat Clark was hilarious. All those three guys were hilarious.
Yeah.
Like I was just shocked at how funny that was.
I don't know if
You
what
know.
you did is from God or from the devil.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
that
just
was
all
all
of their
great.
just
All
amiable.
there.
Hey,
Yeah.
we understand an artist has to go through a transition of self-destruction. You know? Yeah, just all that was super funny. you
And
know?
again, the kind of line that can get really ruined was sort of that wink wink.
Yeah, no,
You
they
know?
played it.
I mean,
but
They were
the
very-
hilarity to play it like just these amiable LA boys.
Yeah.
They
just
were.
it just seemed funny.
They
You
were.
know?
You know, speaking of UHF, though, let's hand it to Billy Barty and Fran Drescher, though.
Yeah, Gino, come on.
I'm sorry.
love
I
the
will
low-angle
never,
gag.
I will
You
never,
love the
under
low-angle
any
gag.
circumstances, be a fan of Billy Barty. I just can't see it.
Not
Well,
even Night
Alex
Patrol.
Robertson is on this podcast if Billy Barty's in.
I will say I did chuckle this time, not when I was 19, but I chuckled this time at the low camera angle. Cheap joke that it was.
Fran Drescher's a good sport in that movie.
Yep. Yeah.
She is funny. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
all were.
Yeah, I again, and it's nice to see Emo Phillips in both.
Yeah, right.
Like, I really.
Call me Mr. Butterfield. You know,
There's
and
a
if you ever,
line I still think of. Yeah.
I saw that guy live, and there's no difference. I mean, his whole act, and again, you want to talk about the weird and the absurd. His stand up, and it's hilarious. It's just, you're watching, you're like, what am I watching? I can't turn away, and he's very
remember,
funny.
He was a big part of childhood just because he was on David Letterman a lot. So,
Yeah.
to me, yeah. So Emo Phillips.
Yeah,
is
no, he was a killer. I always loved when he was on. He was always good.
Yeah.
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 And the fact that he's still alive and still doing it and
That made me really happy.
played a really good Salvador Dali.
Dolly,
Yes.
Yeah.
Gino had to point him out to me. I didn't even know. I didn't know it was
Emo
him.
Phillips. The moment he opens his mouth, it's
Well,
like, I
the
know.
minute
Well,
he said
Alex,
it, I was
I,
like,
I
oh,
didn't
yeah.
I didn't catch it the first time Alex pointed it out to him.
Yeah, that was like,
So
that's
I-
Emo Phillips.
Yeah. I was
It
like,
was-
that's why he looked familiar. Yeah.
But
Well, that
again,
whole scene-
was great.
That whole scene was really funny, you know.
Well, even the whole thing with David, if I can never say his name right, Dalmakian.
Yeah.
You
Good
know
enough.
that whole. Yeah, my name.
You mean
is
Bill
John,
Hader?
John Deacon. What?
Yeah.
Who? I play bass. Who? For the Queen. Oh, yeah.
I just loved Hard Pass. Daniel Radcliffe.
Yes.
How they all just laughed him out.
And then tasing
Laughed him
Wolfman
out.
Jack.
Yeah.
The taser to the neck. I don't know what it was about that.
Right? No, that was a good one. There's lots of, again, that's the thing. The movie was surprisingly funny at all
You know what's
turns.
funny when you watch that movie too? There's a lot of references that I didn't notice the first time. That pool party was, I'm telling you, straight out of Boogie Nights. Yep.
Yeah, I watched
Straight out
their
of Boogie
making
Nights.
of. Yeah.
I didn't know it, but you could see
Yeah.
it. No, it was wonderful. There was that, and something else, but that was certainly a wonderful LA nod,
Yeah,
SoCal
yeah.
nod.
No, it was. Yeah.
No, and it's a SoCal movie. Another great thing, you know that.
Yeah, they filmed it in
You can only
LA.
make
Yeah.
it. You can only make it in LA.
Yeah, and a good thing too because they got all those cameos and they
Yeah.
all. So yeah, I loved it. Couldn't recommend it enough. I've been recommending it. Anybody will listen. So, yeah.
We're with you. We're your disciples.
Roseanne, You going to recommend this? Hearty recommendations? To who? Name one
100%.
person.
Raphael Augustin Williams.
Okay.
Has he seen it?
Yeah.
Did he watch it with us?
He didn't. And so I was telling him, I'm like, you got to watch Weird and then you got to watch UHF. I'm just like, I don't know why you're not. This is good stuff.
He wasn't watching with us? I don't even remember.
Watch it.
Boy.
No, it was You Mean Marjoie.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Sorry for everybody for this little detour. Just
That's all
family
right.
matters.
Anyway,
I was making them everybody came in tired and exhausted from the trip, and I'm like, "Come on, we gotta watch this movie."
It's a testament to the fact that I didn't fall asleep once. It was funny the whole time. I did really love this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But would you recommend UHF still? Alex Robertson.
It's yeah, but they have to see Weird first.
Right. It is sort of a building block.
It is. And I will warn them. I said, there's, as I've told you, the thing that always puts me off in that movie is the kid spitting in Al Yankovic's face. I just hate seeing people get spat in the face. I will never
Yes,
get over
W.C.
that.
Fields. It wasn't that big a deal.
I don't care. To me, it's one of the most humiliating things you can do to a person. I just hate that. I don't know what it is.
How many movies have you laughed
I've never
with
laughed.
a guy getting kicked in the groin?
Okay, I don't know what it is, but getting spit in the face, it's just something different. I don't know whether it's
more
a Clockwork
humiliating
Orange.
This is the czarist. This is the czarist honor in this man.
I guess it is. I'll take fingers in the eye and Mo slapping Larry and Curly ad infinitum, but I never saw Larry spit in Mo's face. So there, buddy.
I don't think it's funny, but it doesn't bother me the way it bothers you.
It bothers me. I don't know what it is.
I'm fascinated that's your axe to grind.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
It's like if I know his weakness. What is it? Just spit in his face. He'll shrivel like a little girl.
Spit in his fat face.
Curling up in the corner crying. He'll never live it down.
All right. Roseanne, you can recommend UHF?
Yeah, I still think I can't help it. I kind of think Wheel of Fish is a good time. I don't know.
But not genius.
But it's a funny and the fact that they're real fish. The fact she's holding a real fish.
Spatula City isn't genius, as I say, wearing my father's shirt.
Again, I like all of this. I don't think when I watch it, I don't think this is genius. I laugh. I'm just, why isn't this good enough for you? I don't
know. When I buy a movie, it's because it's genius.
Is this more about what you need to believe about yourself?
Maybe.
Okay, that's fine.
Again, if I laugh throughout, it's so rare to laugh from beginning to end in a movie. So that's an accomplishment.
Yes, I agree.
It's certainly an accomplishment.
The only other comedy I can think of this past year was the Naked Gun reboot, and that
still had more than enough groaners to make me go, it was good, but it,
But
it had 3 belly laughs, but this was belly laughs from beginning to end. That's the difference. And that's rare in a comedy.
Well, and it never had to resort to the low.
And not since when I think of one of the all-time belly laughs, it's Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and I did think of this is almost not there, but lots of belly laughs. Anyway, we could go on and on. So
yes, we could.
We're done. All right, bye, all. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Fabulous Film and Friends. Copyright 2026, a Bel Air Films production.